Hi guys, how are you? Slava Rybalka here. I was going home today and I just had this thought about sharing some information with you. And there is an interesting topic that lots of people, lots of business owners, I believe, ask themselves, like what would be the right way to pick the SEO consultant, because sometimes you realize you need to get traffic from Google, like natural search traffic from Google. And hi there. So you figure out you need to get organic traffic from Google, but the question becomes like, how do I pick the right company? There are lots of SEO companies that can provide you with SEO services. It's very hard nowadays to figure out what exactly they do. I can tell you I can tell you with certain level of confidence. The thing is that I've been doing it since around 2008. I started as an SEO consultant on Odesk. Now it's called Upwork.com. Back then it was Odesk.com. And I started as a freelancer. My first job was to build 10 backlinks for an SEO company. And they resold my services to someone else, and they paid me literally like $5. And I didn't know anything about SEO back then. I just started learning more and more and more about it. And again, it was in 2008. Lots of things have changed since then. There have been lots of changes in Google. And when you pick an SEO company, you want to make sure they understand all these changes that Google have seen. Let me wave to you. Thank you for joining. So, like for example, so I've got here 8 tips for you. And let's start, because I can tell you a lot about it. But let's start with these 8 tips. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask them right away. At any time, I'll be able to answer all the questions at the end of this video. And there will be people who will be watching it after the video is over, so they might have the same questions, so they might actually benefit from reading to your questions and my answers to your questions, listening to my answers. Okay, let's go. So first tip that I have is when picking an SEO company, you want to look for references from friends. Let's say, first thing to do, like if you go on the internet and you start searching for an SEO company, you could see lots of results out there. But will that company actually suit your business? It's hard to say for sure. Sometimes the company can have bloated reviews. They can have purchased reviews on Google, in Google search results, or on Yelp, etc. Like Google search results, Google local businesses, and Yelp, they have their own algorithms of filtering out bad reviews, or what they think bad reviews are, or unfair reviews are, but they're not perfect. So sometimes you could see that the company has lots of reviews, but will this company suit your business, your particular case? You don't know. So one advice I could give you is ask your friends. Maybe they work with some SEO consultant that helped them, that got them good results. So you could just ask for a reference and give them a call and talk and decide if they will suit you or not. So that was my tip number 1. Next one is, do not pick an SEO consultant or an SEO company that claim that they specialize in other marketing channels as well, especially if it's just one SEO consultant you're talking to, and they don't have a team. They just say they just claim they do everything themselves, and they claim that they can do SEO, PPC, paid search, social media marketing, Instagram, whatever, all these other marketing channels. The reason being is that my personal understanding of this has always been like, if you want to really understand your niche or your marketing channel. You want to deeply specialize in it solely. Like I've been specializing in natural search traffic on Google for the past 10 years, and so whenever clients ask me, or potential clients reach out to me and ask me if I do paid search or if I do like social media marketing or something like Facebook advertising, I always reply that I know how to do that. I've done that in the past, but I do not do that. Like I do not specialize in it. I have some friends or some other companies I could tell you about, so you could contact them and ask them that those companies do specialize in those other marketing channels, like they do paid search, they do social media marketing, etc., link building, for example. But I've been solely specializing in one sub-niche of search engine optimization. So you could either go broad or you could go really deep into the marketing channel. That's my personal perspective, personal approach. So I would, to recap, I would recommend against choosing a consultant, one consultant that claims he can do everything. All right, tip number 3. Make sure that the reports, first of all, make sure they're going to send you the reports every month, at least every month. Even better if they can send you some reports every week. But let's say they send you the reports every month, and sometimes I can see the situation when my clients show me the reports from other SEO companies, and what I'm seeing that those reports just have hi Vlad, how are you? Those reports, they do not actually reflect the actual work that the SEO company has done during this past month. What the reports have is just, they can be very beautiful, very colorful, but they reflect the current state of matters. Let's say they can say, this keyword has changed the position from position 5 to position 3, or 5 keywords went up, 7 keywords went down. But the reports do not say what the company has actually done in that month to move these keywords up, or like what have they actually done during this month, like, because you keep paying them every month, but you do not realize if they're doing anything or not. Literally, I can tell you, I've personally heard at least 2 stories from my clients or potential clients when they hired SEO companies, and there is actually an SEO company in California that does that. I don't remember their name, but the thing is, what they do, the business owner purchases SEO services from them. They pay them like, I don't know, like $300 a month. But what the company does, they just send them the reports, and my clients show me these reports and they tell me, Slava, can you explain what is in the report? And I'm like, okay, so yeah, it's a great report, it shows you some stats, but it does not reflect what they have done. So you always want to make sure they do something. Like, let's say they could write something like, we updated page titles on 5 pages on this particular URLs. And this is what moved the ranks from position, let's say from striking distance, from position 12 to number 3 for a certain keyword. So this can be done, for example. That would be the ideal situation, because sometimes, like, the clients get these reports, they don't understand what the report is. So, and they keep paying money, and the website is still there. It's not improving, it's not declining, but it still sits there on Google. All right, so that was number 3. All right. Next thing is, so once you figure out the company you want to work with, once you have shortlisted the companies and you pick in the right candidate to work with you with your business, some of them might ask for the money up front. Don't be afraid to pay them the money up front. because the reason being is like some really good consultants, they won't start work unless you pay them upfront, like because it's their time. Literally, when I started my career, I did not. It was like it wasn't my pitch. It was like my competitor's advantage. I always told the potential clients that I'm not going to charge you upfront. I will charge you in 1 month, and I provide some results, some things that I've done, like links I built or changes on the website that I've made, and I told them, hey, this is what I've done, and now you can pay me. But later, as I gained more experience, I just switched this business model and I started asking for some money up front. So it's not a bad idea to pay them some money up front, but make sure before you do that, make sure that you have shortlisted the potential candidates that you want to work with. Make sure you've got some references and you trust, you have some sense of trust to that company. All right, that was number 4. Number 5 is ask that company what they're actually gonna be doing to your website. Like SEO normally consists of 3 parts, like most general parts. It's technical SEO, it's on-site SEO, and off-site SEO. So technical SEO is making sure, well, that involves web developers. So SEO consultant should be working with the web developers, and that involves fixing the core issues, foundational issues with your website. For example, if your website is running on HTTP, they want to tell you switch to HTTPS. That's part of technical SEO. If the page speed is slow, they want to tell you improve the page speed of your website. And we have a web developers who could help you with that. So that's technical SEO, right? On-site SEO means that they did some analysis and they figured out there are some keywords that you want to put in your page titles, or let's say meta descriptions, or somewhere on the page, on certain pages. Or you might want to create certain URLs with those keywords in the URL slug. So that part is on-site SEO. The third part is off-site SEO. It's backlink building backlinks. So ask them, ask this SEO consultant, what's their plan of attack? Like, what are they going to do? Beware if they focus too much on analysis, like research, analysis. That research is great. It should be done smart way. But beware if they say, like, we're going to do the analysis, we've done the analysis, etc. Where is the actual work? Like, what should be the actual work? Like, if it's technical SEO, they should be able to tell you, okay, if we see that your website, we did the analysis, or we will do the analysis, we see that the page speed is slow, we're going to work with our web developer or your web developer, we're going to update the page speed. We're going to improve the page speed on your website. If it's on-site SEO, they're going to say, we're going to do some analysis. For example, we're going to figure out the keywords that you should be using, and we'll actually implement these keywords on your website. If it's off-site SEO, they should be saying, we'll probably analyze competitors' backlinks, and as one of the methods of link building, we'll see if we could acquire the same backlinks, like the backlinks from the same website that are linking to your competitors. That's the actual process. So you want to make sure what they're going to be doing, and specifically, let's say if they plan to build backlinks to your website, so the ideal answer you want to hear here is, so this tip is actually focused on backlink building. I just did this explanation to make sure you understand the 3 different aspects of SEO work. So specifically, if we're talking about backlinks, this tip is about backlinks. If they say, we're gonna build backlinks to your website, you want to ask them what kind of backlinks you're going to build. If they say, we're going to build blog comments, that's a red flag. If they're going to say, we're going to build, we're going to pay for the articles, we're going to submit the articles in article directories, that's a red flag. That's like 2010. it doesn't work anymore. If they're saying, let's say, we're going to build links from relevant forums, well, maybe there are some good forums out there that are worth having a link from, especially if this link is placed very organically. Like somebody asks the question on the forum, then your SEO consultant steps in and gives a detailed answer and provides a link to your website, which is relevant to that answer. That's the right way to do that. So make sure you ask them lots of questions specifically about link building, other kinds of SEO they're going to do on your website, etc. All right. So that was number 5. Number 6. I have number 6, and it's unclear what I wrote here. All right, let's switch to number 7. But if I figure it out, I'll let you know. So number 7, make sure the company has long history. They should have some successful use cases, and the reason I'm saying that is that Google, as I told you at the very beginning, Google has changed their algorithms a lot. What used to work back then does not work anymore. And the thing is that the SEO company or the SEO consultant you pick, they should understand all these changes, all this way that Google has come, all this long road they have come to figure out, to understand what would be the good way to do SEO or what would be the bad way to do SEO. Because some SEO methods, they are questionable. Like they can work in some cases, but they won't work in other cases. So you want to, hi there, so you want to understand, so you want to understand if they have a long history of doing search engine optimization to different kinds of websites, or maybe to your websites in your niche. Definitely they should know the algorithms. Hi there, please ask your question related to SEO and I'll be able to answer it. Thank you. So I've already given like 5 or 6 tips. So if you watch from the beginning, you will see these tips on picking the SEO company the right way. So once again, they should have a long history. They should understand what they are doing. For example, I'm sorry. Thank you for saying that. I'll try to keep closer. Is it better? Like this? I hope it's better. I'll try to speak up a little bit. So, I'll review this video, and in case it's not, you cannot hear me well. Okay, great. So in case people could not hear me well, I'll probably do a live video on Facebook with the same tips, like a more polished version of this. It's just the first video of this kind. So they should have long history of doing successful SEO campaigns. They should understand Google's algorithms, like Google Panda, Google Penguin, Google Phantom Update, Google Hummingbird Update. They should be able to explain it to you what these algorithms have done to search results in the past, like why Google implemented them and how they could influence your website. For example, Google Panda influences content, Google Penguin influences backlinks, Hummingbird Update influences the long tail keyword searches and questions people ask on the web. So they should be able to explain you all that. So that was number 6, all right? Tip number 7. It's a good idea to ask them if they know some famous people in the industry, in SEO industry. For example, if they know Rand Fishkin from Moz, or I don't know, like Larry Page or Sergey Brin, those are the founders of Google. But there are some well-known people that are constantly writing on Moz, and you could just do a quick research, like top 5 SEOs or top 10 SEOs of all times or something like that, And it will take you like 5 minutes, but it could save you lots of money down the road. So just have that list in front of your eyes and ask the SEO company, like, hey, could you tell me like some famous figure or who you follow in SEO world? And if they tell you some names, that's a good sign. If they won't be able to tell you about anyone, that's a red flag, obviously. All right. Next tip is tip number 8, I believe. So ideally, the SEO company you're going to work with should have a successful history of working with your industry or your niche. For example, if an SEO company is specializing in SEO for dentists, that's one thing. If they're specializing for SEO for lawyers, that's another thing, because there are rules in different industries. So make sure that company knows how to work, how to do SEO for your industry, for your specific niche. Well, if they kind of say that we specialize in different niches, that might be okay. But again, look at the other tips that I've given and just make sure that they know what they're doing. Like ask them more questions and ask them to provide some use cases, like case studies, and see what they have done to either companies in your niche or some other niches. But ideally, they should be specializing in your niche. Like for example, I know one guy. He has been specializing for doing in SEO for photographers. Like he just accepts photography clients, like photographers. He doesn't work with anyone else. I've been working with different types of clients. It's just the way I started. Like I started as an SEO consultant. I mentioned that at the beginning of the video, and different people with different websites asked me to help them. And that's why I picked this experience from different niches. Right now, I decided to focus on contractors more, but I also have worked with dentists before. I mean, all these niches, they have different peculiarities, so make sure that company has worked in your niche. That's the ideal case, the ideal scenario. All right? All right, so that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Might be related to what I've just told you about, or it can be just about search engine optimization, or it can be about online marketing in general. If I know the answer, I will answer. I'll give you the answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you honestly that I don't know the answer. Or maybe I'll be able to guide you to where to find that answer. So I have a couple of anecdotes related to these tips. As I was putting down notes for this video, I just recalled a couple of anecdotes. So I had this client, this potential client, when I was working on Odesk back then. He reached out to me and he said, "Hey, could you please take a look at these reports that this company sent to me?" He hired somebody overseas, and they worked for him for about a year and a half. He kept paying them. He kept sending money abroad. All they have done, they sent him 2 reports, 2 Excel files over this time period. And he told me, "Hey Slava, I don't know what's in there. Could you please take a look? Did I pay like several thousands of dollars for something really valuable? Like I got these reports, but the website did not improve, but just take a look." So I opened these Excel files. All I can tell you is that they were very colorful. Like there were purple, orange colors, like green, lots of colors in them. But the actual gist, like the essence of the reports, it was not anything meaningful in them. There was just like an Excel file, a couple of Excel files with several tabs, and there were like keyword positions, just some numbers, but it was nonsense. And I told him right away, like, "I'm sorry to tell you that, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't reflect the actual work they have done. And yeah, I'm sorry that you had just that experience." So that's one thing. Another thing is, it's from when I lived in Los Angeles. I was looking for work, I was sending my resume. I got this phone call from a plastic surgeon in Los Angeles. They were looking for an SEO guy to work in-house, and they asked me to come for an interview. And the hiring manager, they told me this thing. Like, I told her that I specialize in SEO. I know PPC, I've dubbed into PPC and other channels, but I've been narrowly specializing in SEO. And the hiring manager, she told me, here's the thing. We have this person leaving our company and we want somebody to substitute them. That person have been managing paid search, SEO, everything. Don't be afraid, they will teach you how we do PPC in our company, etc. for that plastic surgeon. And I decided to pass on that opportunity. I just wanted to retain, I just wanted to keep focusing on natural search traffic. So I told her, I'm sorry, it's been a pleasure talking to you, but I would like to specialize in SEO only. I don't want to get broad, go broad, I want to go deep into my field. So that's another story that I have. So there are other tips, like literally I recalled a couple more tips as I was telling you that, but it just keeps coming to my memory and just going away. So if you have any questions, just please ask. Let me see if I have something else here. So yeah, I mean, I can tell another story. I have this, I talked to this client, potential prospect. He's a doctor in Dallas, and we had a meeting in Starbucks with them, and he said that he has been working with an SEO company in another state, and that company was sending him the reports every month. And I asked him, like, okay, so what are the reports? Actually I asked him, what do they do for you? What are they doing for you? And he said, I don't know. Like, so he pays them like literally several $100s a month, but he does not know what he's paying for. I think he's comfortable with just knowing that somebody is doing SEO for them, but in reality they don't have a clue what are they doing. I mean, they could see the results, but again, the website can sit there on certain positions in Google for some time without any changes, and there might be some opportunities, but the SEO company might not be pursuing these opportunities. So always ask more questions, ask them what they're doing, ask them to explain what they're doing, and make sure you have phone calls with them. That's another tip. So I have regular scheduled phone calls during which we would go over what they have done for you, provide some recommendations as well. Another tip that I have for you, nowadays search engine optimization, like I mentioned, has come a long way. Google search results nowadays are powered by neural networks. Neural network is literally a black box. But what can help you in your search engine optimization is that if you actually team up with your SEO consultant. SEO should not be isolated. Like, a good SEO company will always ask you more questions, lots of questions. Like, they will ask you about the nature of your business, they will ask you about your typical customers, they will ask you about the keywords you want to pursue, you want to rank for. And ideally, a really professional SEO company, they will be working hand in hand with you. They won't tell you, okay, which keywords you want to rank for, we'll take it from there. Ideally, they should be constantly keeping close contact with you and asking you for input, like recommendations or directions or more information about your target market or your ideal customers, etc. All right. What else do I have here? So I think that would be pretty much it for today. I would like to thank you very much for viewing this video, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm planning to do more videos like this one on different other topics related to search engine optimization. Please feel free to follow me on Instagram. I also have Slava's online marketing club on Facebook, so you could subscribe to it on Facebook. And on my website, it's slavarybalka.com. You could schedule an appointment with me, and during that appointment, we would go into deep detail about your particular situation, about your particular business, and we'll figure out the exact strategy together on what to do with SEO with your website. Like, we could figure out the SEO strategy, or we could figure out the overall online marketing strategy with very customized recommendations. The link is in my bio. That's pretty much it. Thanks again, and good luck with your SEO. Bye.